Hey, welcome in. Well, it turns out there's a whole new scourge on the land. It's called wokefishing. Wokefishing. And this is where mean people pretend to be woke and socially aware to seduce virtuous, sensitive people who aren't at all deranged, who aren't at all deranged by their wokeness. You know, this is something that's, really, guys have been pretending forever to be sensitive or whatever, and hanging around the margins, just waiting for that chance when, the girl will, be emotionally weak or something, then he'll get a shot. Guys have been telling women what they wanted to hear forever, and they're going to continue to. So that's really just what woke fishing is. It's just pretending to be a sensitive type to trick, gullible purple-haired gremlins. Anyway, this article is from health.com. It says, what is woke fishing? Why you need to know about the latest dating trend. If you've been swiping lately, you need to read this. Well, I haven't, so I don't really need to read it, I guess, but let's take a crack at it anyway. Dating apps have always had catfishers and manipulators, but in 2020, cyber dates now have a new type of creep to look out for. People pretending to be politically progressive to charm unsuspecting folks looking for love. My thoughts are, if you're obsessed with weird Marxist social and racial theories, there's nobody who can really help you anyway. You're just going to make bad decisions. But anyway, let's see. It says here, the term woke fishing was coined by writer Serena Smith in a recent article for Vice to describe a situation where someone pretends to be woke, i.e. aware of issues relating to social and racial justice. And just to be clear here, woke isn't being aware of issues relating to social and racial justice. Woke is being obsessed by it. Obsessed to the point of derangement. Obsessed to the point of masochism. Obsessed to the point where you can't see anything else anywhere. But anyway, so let's see. They got a board-certified psychiatrist to explain this. It says, woke fishing is when a person who is talking to another person starts asking them vague questions regarding progressive causes in an effort to determine their interest level, and then mirrors their responses. Yeah, people do this all the time. We've always done this, feigned interest in somebody else's interest to get them to like them, basically, as a way in. It's just in this case, they're pretending to be in their cult. That's it. Their cult of wokeness. So let's see. This has apparently just left many, many victims in its wake. Smith, that's the person who coined the phrase woke fishing, apparently. Her ex convinced her that he shared her political and social beliefs. But when Smith decided to go vegan, of course she did, he quickly showed his true colors. Quote, I can still remember one of his appalled, patronizing texts. Quote, oh God, you're not going to become one of those vegan feminists, are you? Oh, that's great. I love it. Smith wrote, she said, I was confused. He hadn't come across like someone who hated vegan feminists. So where had this come from? I'm going to say it came from meeting some vegan feminists. I'm going to guess that that's where he got that attitude from. Just simply meeting vegan feminists. I think that's enough to convince anybody, frankly. Now, I shouldn't overgeneralize there. There are some very nice vegan feminists, I'm sure. I can't really say it without laughing. Sorry. Okay, anyway. But here it echoes what I was saying earlier. Although the term woke fishing might be a new one, this is far from a new phenomenon. It's a twist on an old practice of manipulating others to achieve a desired outcome. In this case, consent for sleepover parties. It doesn't say that, but that's more fun. It's simply a classic manipulative tactic with a catchy new name. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. People have been doing this forever, manipulating people, feigning interest in something to get something that they want. Although I think maybe with the case of wokeness, I think wokeness does seem to induce a kind of, it almost manifests as like a mental illness or something, as, like a lack of maturity, a lack of constraint. They seem to be quite hysterical and emotional. It's almost like an emotional stunting or something like that. I hate to be mean, but that's just what I'm observing. They certainly don't like to hear things that they don't agree with, I'll say that much. And they've already proven that they're very easily manipulated. I mean, the things that they believe, absolutely, they will scream at you about, around gender and all of this and all the many genders and whatnot. They're all, they all contradict each other. Things that contradict each other, like, born this way, but also it's fluid and it can change. And also you can actually be like a non-human thing that doesn't exist, like a unicorn or something, right? So these are not the kind of, signatures of mentally healthy people. So they might be more vulnerable to manipulation. That's my point. So it may actually be a little bit more insidious than it normally is. Anyway. Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot. But this also does reveal something else about the woke, right? In that they have a very narrow band of things that they can believe and of people that they can hang out with. Like, listen to this. It can be difficult to spot a wokefisher, largely because their initial attempts to ingratiate themselves can often be mistaken for genuine interest. However, it pays to be cautious if a stranger seems to be too agreeable, especially when their views mirror your own, De Silva says. To elicit their true beliefs, she suggests asking a new, specific question. If they respond with a vague answer or turn the question back on you, they may be wokefishing. And this is what I'm saying. Like, you have to ask specific questions to find out exactly what they believe, because it's this narrow bandwidth of what they find acceptable. A normal person has a pretty wide tolerance for beliefs, political or whatever. But for, the wokeness, it's no. It has to be very, very narrow. They have a very narrow system of beliefs. Now, that narrow system of beliefs can change day by day. And what was great today can be a horrible crime tomorrow. But as long as you agree with it when it changes, right? As long as you agree with the change, you're fine. Again, normal people have they're widely tolerant of a lot of different stuff. They're not just crammed into one little corner. And this is, you could be like a very tolerant person. You could be just verging on woke yourself, right? And if there's one little thing that you don't agree with, right? It turns out you're a fascist. You're the bad guy from, the bad guys from Germany, right? That's how they think, then you're a woke fisher as well. And you could just be like, well, I just said what I thought. I wasn't pretending. No, you're a woke fisher. You said one little thing they disagreed with. I don't know. After reading this, I think that I like the woke fishers more than I like the woke, quite frankly. I mean, why anybody would want to date one of these woke Puritans, I have no idea anyway. I mean, they're just going to lecture you all day. You absolutely have to be a masochist and have zero self-respect and kind of hate yourself to be around them, because they're going to be lecturing you and scolding you all the time anyway for some infraction of their weird rules. But anyway, apparently that's woke fishing, so now we can get on with our lives and just completely forget about the whole thing. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, thanks a lot for stopping in. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you'd just like to listen, there's the podcast. It's on pretty much every platform, including iTunes. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.